Howdy folks, this is a TFS soap here, and this is the Primavera. I think that's how you pronounce it. 72 years in the business is what that 72 is all about, established back in 1945. This is 5 ounces of soap. So I think that was, get my numbers mixed up here, yeah, 150 milliliters. It's a pretty soft soap, closer to probably a croak. I've already put a hot towel to the face and bloom water, and you can kind of tell I worked it into my face and around the whiskers. Excuse me. Got the Humphreys Witch Hazel lilac. Got my trusty alum block with the rubber band, along with some Smell Good to match the soap. Razor of the day is going to be the Focus Dynamic. I think it's an R48. This comes with a pivoting head, and it has a Gillette 7 o'clock in there. I've got this whipped up in the bowl. It came. It's a walnut. It's got a spiral grooves in it. Some wooden bowl here, and the brush came by the way of Strike Gold Shave. This is an Ever Ready brush with a synthetic knot, and I got plenty whipped up here. Had a lot of fun working this one. The went back to the Superior Shave website. That's where I got this razor and stand from, and I got to looking at a lot of the write-up that he's got on this particular razor. And if you're interested in getting one of these, you definitely want to probably read that. And there's quite a bit of information in there, so it's going to take a moment to read it. So don't think it's just a short little paragraph, because it's not. A lot of what he says in there is, I guess you might say, I would echo most of what he's saying, is that if you're expecting this to be like a gem single edge, you're going to be disappointed. And it does not shave like a DE either, at least not in my opinion. I agree with him in that. It is what I would consider an effortless shave. You don't have to think about it a whole lot, in my opinion. I guess part of it is just you have to, if you're not used to using a pivoting head, that's the part you'll need to get used to. For me, it's a mild shaver. I think he mentions that the degree to hold this is like at 25, and you know, your mileage may vary. I know I find myself a lot of times I don't take full advantage of the pivoting head. In other words, because I haven't used one in forever. So, you know, there is a little bit of a learning curve in that aspect, but if you try to use it just like a one without a pivoting head, I don't think you should have too much trouble with it. But it is a mild shaver. One of the things he mentions in there also is that when you're whipping up your lather, which I have a tendency to whip mine up on the wet or moist side, might even be considered thin. He mentions that this shaver will work better for you that way, because the thicker your foam is, the more apt it's going to collect, as opposed just to flow through. It does come with a stand. You can buy it without a stand. In my opinion, it's not absolutely necessary to have the stand. It's pretty easy to change out the blade without the stand. So in other words, the stand serves more than one purpose. Very smooth shaver. That is one thing nice about it. I would say that if you're looking for a touch-up, you're in a hurry, maybe you're not feeling 100% and your mind's at somewhere else, and like me, you're shaving with the shavette, you want to have your mind where it should be, because if you don't, that shavette will bite you. This would be a good razor to pick up. It is nice to be able to get in a smooth, comfortable shave, and it'd be pretty much effortless. And this scent is really nice. If I remember right, it's like bergamot, lemon, jasmine, rosemary. I've got it all down below. It's better to go by that as opposed to my nose. I know it's a nice scent. You can kind of tell it works just fine with this razor. Soap's really nice. I haven't had one yet from them that disappointed me in performance, much less scent. I would treat this like I do my shavettes. In most cases I do not. When I'm using a half of a DE blade, they're one and done. I try to keep my blade fresh. It just helps increases your chance of getting a good shave. Now some of my more expensive blades, yeah, I'll go ahead and there's expectations you're going to get more out of certain blades, but out of a DE blade, for the most part, outside of a feather, it's pretty much one and done. I do have a Kai blade. I have a box of those, and I have not tried them yet, so I don't know if that would fall in the category of a feather where I would have expectations of getting more in one shave out of it and it'd still be a good shave. I know though other folks, use their blades several times. As inexpensive as a DE blade is nowadays, I just prefer to be a one and done. Scent is just still very present. Got lots of lather left over. That's another thing too. When I'm whipping up my lather, I don't skip on the soap. I put quite a bit in that bowl. Like David Gonzalez mentions, give the best opportunity to succeed. And I do. You can hear the pivoting head, because that is one thing you'll have to get kind of accustomed to. At least I know with my experience, is that the head has a tendency to kind of get, how you say, sucked down onto your face. It's just a matter of, as you glide, that soap creates that suction. In other words, it's not a bad thing. It doesn't affect your shave any. At least I don't think so. For me, this is a pretty easy going shave. I mean, I've read some postings where they were having issues getting a good shave out of it. For me, it's just like almost like another day in the park, if you will. It's really easy to get a smooth shave. Yeah, you can shave with this every day and not take a whole lot of time getting it done either. Not that it, once you get used to a shave head or a straight razor, you'll pick up with the experience, you'll pick up speed. Your shaves won't last near as long or take near as long. But this one here, you can do it without thinking much about it. I noticed on Wet the Face, by the way of Sharpologist, had found an article from Gillette where they're working on a razor that is for a caregiver. So in other words, somebody that is shaving somebody else. Because one of the things about our way of shaving is pressure. Too much pressure on the razor, you're going to end up with razor burn, cut. In other words, not a good shave. And they are working on a particular style of razor for the caregiver, and thought that was pretty cool. It's can't remember what the name of it is. It's almost like the principle of this one here, where it uses a single blade and you use it once and you're done with it. Which, to me, I think that's a excellent idea. Since that's kind of how I follow with my regimen. It's pretty much one and done. So yeah, that's it's really good to see Gillette coming out with a razor like that, because like they mentioned in there, for many years, the razor's been made, and they've always been made for the individual that's using the razor shaving themselves, as opposed to somebody that is shaving somebody else. In other words, making it easier for that caregiver to use that shaver. And that's another thing too about this this shaver, this Focus Dynamic. I think they refer to as an R48. The alum block, very quiet. I get a smooth, comfortable shave, no stinging. It's very easy for me to get hooked on something like this, because it really is. It is an effortless shave, and that's good. It's not, for me, it's not a BBS shave by any means, but it's more than close enough. I don't strive for a BBS. It's for me, it's dangerous, especially on my neck. I usually will end up irritation on my neck. So close works for me. Close and comfortable. It doesn't have to be BBS, because I don't need it. Oh, by the way, that was my witch hazel. Now, excuse me, a little bit on a negative note. Just a little negative. When I got this, I was really anxious to get a good whiff of it. So I, of course, went ahead and popped the top. And I got ready to squirt it. And nothing was coming out. Thought, well, maybe it just needs to be primed. So keep on pumping, right? No, nothing was coming out. So, you take it, you look at it, like, what is wrong with you, So I pulled the top of it off, and then I put it back on, Try it again. No, that didn't work either. Pulled the top back off, and then I pushed the stem down, and I heard something pop. And believe it or not, after that, put the cap back on, and works just fine now. So if you get one like that, you may have to work with it a little bit. I am not real keen on spray up around my eyes, so yeah, I'll spray it in my hand and put it on. You ever get this stuff in your eyes, you know what I'm talking about. This, it is not a good feeling. This smells really good. I got there's another one I think it's referred to as the clone version of this. There's another one, there's two of them in other words, and this is just the one I prefer to get. But you can get the, I guess you might, the whole setup, I think, the soap, in other words, and those two right there, that'd make a total of 3. But this scent is really nice. My thing is, my face is so smooth right now. I say I can get a really close shave with this razor and not put out a whole lot of effort. That's the nice thing about it. Plus, you're using DE blades, inexpensive. I mean, this makes a shave of, you can get a pretty darn cheap shave. Nice one at that. Here's what it looks like again. And what the stand is, it can aid you putting the blade in or taking it out, loading it. But I've got a towel right here in front of me, and I can take it and I can just slide it across my towel, and the top part of the razor comes right off. Like I said, it's not that tough, and that's the reason why if you want the stand like I got, you know, it's great to have because you stand it up into the cabinet. But is it an absolute necessity? No, I don't think so. You can do without it if you don't actually need the stand. And you can kind of tell that these ends are bent, and he'll even, at the website, he even tells you about these ends, which way works better for you. And that was with his experience. You can always use the pre-cut ones, and they work just fine. I had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well this weekend. For me, this is a Saturday morning shave. So stay safe and smooth shaves to you.